to chapter 6, verse 18. No, 19. Matthew 6. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. So we have treasures that deteriorate and can be stolen. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So a life of faith, when we're looking at God and worshiping God, listening to God in our hearts, there is a proverb that I read this morning, interesting. The poor is hated, Proverbs 14:20. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. Rich is hated of his neighbor. So there's homeless people here in Baltimore off of Route 40, like there are in many places, and they can't get along. The homeless people cannot get along with each other. They set fire to the other's tent. They throw bricks at each other. They are on drugs. They steal and so on. So it's sad. But we should have compassion on the poor. And we that are putting treasure in heaven, and when I say we, I mean any spirit-filled person who is walking in the Spirit, he has it in his mind that it's not whether somebody is rich or poor, but they relate to others in love or in the ministry. The ministry is blind in some ways to the economical status of people, blind to race and ethnicity and other factors that separate people. But we put our treasure, we actually believe that another word for treasure is what's valuable. We put the value in a life of faith. We put value in prayer. We put value in the nature of God and following Him and obeying Him. Yeah, so that's what we want to say this morning. Let's read it. It says Matthew 6, verse 21. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So if our treasure is there in heaven or in our life of faith and in love, then we find love with poor people and love with rich people, or love with people, period. We find we have a treasure in this heart, this new heart, this covenant that God gave to us to write in our hearts His laws, and that we would be colorblind. We would be blind to certain things that the world is not blind to. The world really hates the poor, doesn't it? Proverbs 14:20. The poor is hated, verse 20, of his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. So when Naomi returned to Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Ruth was blind to her poverty in a sense. It wasn't a factor. She wanted her God, Naomi's God, and she wanted even though Naomi apparently didn't live such a fervent Orthodox Jewish life, maybe you could say it like that, but they went to Moab, but Ruth followed. Okay, Jonathan and David was the poorer one, but Jonathan had fellowship. So, okay. Verse 22, the lamp of the body is the eye. Therefore your eye is good, your whole body shall be full of light. So the eye is powerful. Look at what you are looking at, and what kind of eye do you have? How you see something. Isn't that good? How you see something, it's in the eye. There is a proverb, maybe 16:9. The eye of the bountiful shall be blessed. The eye of the bountiful shall be blessed. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? Hating the poor, no. We could not hate the poor. We have an attitude about the poor. Yes, I could have. Do I hate them? Yes, I could. But no, we are born again, and we have another eye. We see things differently. We see their potential. We see their need for love. We need their dysfortune. We see their struggle. We see maybe how precious they are in the eyes of God. Like Jesus did it all the time when he's walking the streets. He's caring for Zacchaeus. Well, he wasn't poor, but Bartimaeus, the blind man, the man at the pool of Siloam, no, Bethesda, in John 5, and so on. So he was like that. Of course he was. He was the Christ. People fall into poverty sometimes not at their own doing, and it really doesn't matter why they are there. It doesn't matter. The fact is that we have a treasure, another eye. We have an eye of faith, an eye of love, and then our whole body is filled with light. It affects our life. Our way of seeing things affects our life. Yeah, so see things through grace and truth, in a lot of grace, a lot of love. See things through forgiveness. See things through seeking peace with all men. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, seeing things that way. Okay, amen. God bless you. Proverbs 14:20, and then Matthew 6:19-22.